Hi, my name is Jonathan Svitak. I'm an attorney with the Shannon Law Group, and our firm helps people across the United States recover emotionally and financially due to adverse reactions to vaccines. And we do this by filing petitions in the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. Earlier this year, Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson developed a vaccine for immunization against COVID-19. And millions of Americans went to their local pharmacy or clinic to get this vaccine. Since we have received some calls from people who have experienced an injury or side effect due to these vaccines. But unfortunately, we are not taking those claims as of right now. COVID-19 vaccines are not covered under the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. Instead, they're covered under a different program called the Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program. Right now, we're not taking any claims and filing them in the Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program, primarily for two reasons. Number one, we can't recover attorney's fees in that program, and we don't want our clients to bear that cost. And number two, we don't believe that the compensation offered in that program is adequate. Remember, unless the COVID-19 vaccine caused a death, the only compensation available to injured petitioners includes out-of-pocket medical expenses and any lost wages or earnings capped at $50,000 per year. However, we do believe that at some point, COVID-19 vaccines will be added to the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, in which case we would be filing those injury claims. Recently, there's been some news on that front. The FDA, an advisory panel of the FDA, has recommended authorization of the COVID-19 vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine, to children aged 5 to 11 years old. And the reason that this is important is in order for any new category of vaccines to be added to the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, 3 steps need to happen. First, the CDC has to recommend the use of the vaccine for children. So once the FDA approves or authorizes the use of the COVID-19 vaccine in this age group, 5 to 11, within a week or a few days, we expect the CDC to then recommend the same vaccine for that age group. So that would be step 1. Step 2 would be Congress getting together and imposing an excise tax on that particular vaccine, the COVID vaccine, which would make it eligible for the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. Finally, HHS, the Department of Health and Human Services, would have to propose a rule to change the vaccine injury table to add COVID-19 vaccines to the table. So this recent news from the FDA is good because it's one step closer to getting COVID-19 vaccines onto and part of the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. Now, of the 3 steps for adding a new category of vaccine to the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, the last 2, Congress imposing an excise tax on the vaccine, and HHS adding the vaccine to the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. There are 2 bills pending now in Congress that would make both of those steps easier and faster. So obviously there's a lot of moving parts in this whole process, and we're trying to keep as updated as we can so that we can update you whenever we hear news either from Congress or from HHS. If you're interested in either of these bills that are currently pending, or if you're interested in contacting your congressperson to move this process along, we'd invite you to do so. There's a link in the description of this video to a template that you can use to contact your local congressperson if that interests you.